Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from checkit.com here with a Photoshop tutorial on everyone's first favorite day of the week. Tutorial Tuesday, not Effects Friday, goodness. But it is a Photoshop tutorial. I know a lot of you guys wanted Cinema 4D and other tutorials, but guys, you gotta imagine, we have the rest of our lives to be watching my tutorials and to be, making these different things. So, let's take it one step at a time, alright? Just calm down. Cool your jets, alright? As the kids like to say these days. But anyway, today we are learning this multicolored glossy eye effect. And yes, I did over-exaggerate everything because this is a tutorial, but it does look a lot better if you use everything in moderation. If you use the effects I'm going to be teaching you in moderation, it looks realistic and it looks awesome. I know this looks fake, but yeah. And also, I took this picture just in my bathroom, because I know you guys don't have professional lighting. So anyway, this tutorial came to me because my girlfriend said she likes my eyes, but I think they're just boring brown, and they are just boring brown. So if you guys have boring eyes out there, let's make them look awesome, and you'll get all the ladies, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you're a lady, you'll get all the ladies. That's what I'm talking. Alright, so let's get to the tutorial. Anyway, oh wait. First, give the video a like, and also leave a comment, because I leave all my favorite comments at the end of the video. And yeah, leave a suggestion as to what tutorials you guys want to see, because I'm going to be doing a request this Friday, and then after that I'm going to be doing a Cinema 4D next Tuesday. So leave your request, and yeah, let's get to the tutorial, I guess. So first, let's go Control N or Command N if you're on a Mac. Actually, let's not do it this way. Let's actually go down to here. That's actually how you create a new layer, but I want to create a composition with this. So I'm just going to click and drag it up to this blank area up here. I'm actually just going to exit out of that old one. And that just creates a new composition with the picture's settings. And let's double click this lock right here. Okay. And let's double click this name. And let's just rename it main so we don't get confused. Alright, so first things first, let's clean up. Like, look at this. Look at the bags under my eyes. I've been so tired. I've been working out every day. I'm so exhausted. So what should we do? Let's go Control Shift N, create a new layer, and let's just call this clean, bro. Okay. And now what we want to do is we want to go to our spot healing brush, and what we can do for that is it's actually J. But if you're not on it, you can hold Shift and scroll through them until you get to your spot healing. And that's right here, if you don't know what it is. And first things first, a lot of people have those veins in their eyes, and it looks really weird when you're doing eye effects. So what you want to do is you want to set this top thing up here to sample all layers. You just want to make sure that's clicked. And then you can just click and drag, and it'll, make an accurate guess as to what it wants to get rid of. And this is also a great technique for getting rid of acne, if you want to see that. Like, go, see that? Pretty cool. And if you want to see what it's doing, you can just click off of it, and it will, or click this eye right here. It'll turn off that bottom layer, and you'll see what you're actually doing to it. And let's keep going over on this eye. Okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. Alright, so when it comes to the bottom of the eyes, and when your eyes look all, dark and stuff, you really want to make sure that it's set to lighten. For up here and for acne, normal looks pretty good. Like if you zoom in using the scroll wheel. Why can't I zoom in? There we go. Normal works a lot better, getting rid of all these ugly veins. But when it comes down to it, it just looks way too harsh for skin, like for big areas of skin. So I like to set it down to lighten, and I like to use the brackets to enlarge this. Not that big, that's what she said. We just want it to be able to fix up a big area, but not too crazy big. And just click and drag over these areas, so it can, Photoshop can do its job and work its magic. It's pretty crazy how it takes care of this stuff. And just like that, it already looks a million times better. And yes, it's not perfect. You guys can spend more time on it, but I'm doing a tutorial. I don't have time for these petty games. Goodness gracious. I could always fast forward, I guess, but it's not. I don't want to fast forward in a Photoshop tutorial. Come on, that's lame. Alright, and with that, that looks good enough for me. The bags under my eyes look a million times better, and everything else is clean. So if you want to see how it looked before, that's after. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, just make sure you have it set to lighten. So now what we want to do is actually get started on editing the eyes. So let's actually do something that a lot of people don't do when they are creating eye tutorials and such. If you click and drag main down here and make a copy of it and then just double click on it and call it slop, what we can do is we can now sample from this picture, this above picture, and not affect the main picture at all. So we can preserve everything we've already done to the main. Let's also put clean bro. Oh, we'll keep it up there for right now. Alright, so here's what we want to do. We want to create a selection around these the eyeballs. So let's hit M. And if you're not on the elliptical marquee tool, you can hold shift and, get down to the elliptical marquee. And now we can click and drag. And there's some shortcuts I want to teach you guys real quick. You can hold space to make it, you can actually move it. And we just want to put it around the eye. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to feather it. But if you want to make it a perfect circle, hold shift. And if you want to make it go from the center of where you started that, you can hold Alt as well. But we don't want it perfect or anything like that, so. Because not everyone's eyes are perfect circles. Actually, I think they are, but yeah. The cameras don't ever always capture them perfect. I don't know. But now let's hold Shift. And you'll notice you have that plus sign right underneath the cursor. And let's also hold Alt to make sure you get that X, or the little scissor thing. I don't know what you guys want to call it. Now click and drag up until you make a selection towards the top where the eyelashes and the eyelid goes over the eye, and then let go, and it just chops off that little piece up there. Now what we want to do is make sure you have the slop selected. We want to right click and go down to feather, and we want to feather it about 5 pixels because this picture is so massive. Like a lot of things, and just check it. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. Okay, but since this picture is a lot more massive, I did 5 pixels. You guys might want to do 2 if you're working with a lot smaller of pictures. So now what we want to do is with slop selected, go Control or Command Shift J, and what that does is it cuts out the eye. And if you want to see how other people usually do it, they usually just keep it. They would do it on that main layer. And look what it does. It cuts out a weird part right here, and they usually don't do as much feathering, but since I use this technique, I can do a lot of feathering, and look at that. Now I can mess with this eye, and it won't, it doesn't affect the original picture, which is awesome. So, now let's do the other side. Let's have slop selected, zoom in, make sure you're on the marquee tool by hitting M, click and drag. I'm going to do this eye faster. Space bar. Cool. Shift Alt, click up, boom, right click, feather, okay, boom. And now we can delete the slop layer, select both layer 1 and layer 2, and what we want to do is we want to go Control or Command E, and that just merges them. I want to double click on the layer 1, and I want to rename this first one Sharpen. Not Shapen. Sharpen. Let's zoom out, and I'm going to hit V just to get back to my move tool because I like having the move tool better. And if you want to see what we did, that is exactly what we just made. And then if you turn on the clean bro layer, it has all your fixes there. You turn on the main and it just looks like a really nice picture. So, but it still looks like we haven't really done anything. So let's sharpen this first thing. Make sure you're on sharpen, go up to filter, sharpen, and a lot of people like smart sharpen. I'm going to use an unsharp mask. I like the way it sharpens everything a lot better. It's more crisp. So my settings are 151, 17.2, and the threshold at 0. So I'm going to hit OK. Once your sharpen is where you like it, you can toggle it on and off to see what you did. Look at that. Looks a million times better. Way more sharp, and it really pops. So what we want to do next is we want to go Control-Shift-N to create a new layer. Let's just call it Contrast. Okay. And now let's drag Clean Bro underneath all our new effects. And with Sharpen selected, we're going to click and hold Control, and we're going to select this little box right here. And that just makes the eyeballs a selection. And we're going to go to the contrast layer, and we're going to click this Create Layer Mask button right here. And now whatever we put in this little box right here, make sure you select it. It will only affect around the eyes. So I'm going to click on the black. I'm going to go to the B right here. I'm going to type in 50 to make it a gray. And I'm going to go Alt Backspace. And I'm just going to fill it with gray. And now you're done. Good job, guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, no. It's not done yet. Crazy person. Alright. So, we're going to do some custom contrasting right here. And to do that, we're going to want to hit O. And you'll see that this little weird, like, this little thing right here is the dodge tool. I don't know what to call it. Is that a magnifying glass? I have no idea. The hand is the burn tool, and we're not even going to use a sponge. So, you can always hit O. Shift O to switch between them. And now, with the dodge tool, if we size it up a little bit, you will see if we go on here, it lightens the gray. You see that? I'm going to hit Control Z. I'm just showing you. And then if you go Shift O, we size this up, this darkens the gray, right? And you can adjust how much it darkens the gray right here by going down to 50. I like to keep it at 100 though. And now what we can do is we can start coloring in after we set this layer to soft light. Because now what it's going to do is, whatever we paint will get darker with the burn tool. So I'm going to actually make this smaller. I'm just going to color in and just create my own custom contrast. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go around the eyes and just rub-a-dub-dubbing with my mouse. Cool. Now let's do it to the other side as well. Just put your own custom contrasting in. Alright, so now using the brackets, I'm going to scale this down. I'm just going to put some lines in. Because our eyes have these lines and they get lost a lot in a lot of pictures. So I'm going to keep. Of course, you're going to spend more time on this and make it look a lot better. I'm giving you the tools to be successful. I'm going to zoom in over here now. Alright, so now let's switch to our dodge tool by hitting Shift O 2 times. Now we're going to do the same thing but with the highlights. So I'm just going to paint in where I think highlights should be. I'm going to zoom in, use the bracket key, and just paint in some bright highlights. And with my boring brown eyes, it doesn't really show too much, but it does do something, and I'll show you right now. See that? I mean, it really does add some cool contrasting. Now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Now that we have our custom contrasting and really bringing out those lines, we can create a nice soft spot here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit B. That brings up the brush tool. We're going to go up to this panel up here. We're going to make sure that it's at a reasonable size and the hardness is all the way to 0. Alright, so now we're going to go Control-Shift-N. And let's just call this gloss. Okay. And now, let's zoom in. Make sure that the other, like you just hit this little arrow key right here, or this arrow, whatever this is, just toggles the two colors around. And we want to make sure that the white is in our foreground. And now we're going to paint in. It's a nice white right there. Also going to paint in a nice white around here, and that's just going to add a nice bright thing once we go. Changing the blending mode to overlay. And I mean, you can do a different one if you want, but overlay looks the best in my opinion. And remember, I'm just doing an extremely exaggerated version of all this. Now imagine if we put the opacity down on all of these. It'd look a lot better. It looks a lot more realistic without being over the top. So, but I'm still, remember, I'm just doing this for the tutorial, goodness gracious. Alright, so the last thing we want to do is we want to create some color for the eyes, and we can do multicolored or we can change the eyes to a different color completely. So, I'll show you both ways, but the first way I want to do is just the simple way. Let's go down to the sharpen layer, click and hold Control and click on the box. That makes the eyes a selection. And then let's go down to the adjustment layer, and then we'll just go up to hue and saturation. Alright, and we can drag that to the top. And now what we want to do is we want to just mess with these hues here. Alright, so let's say I wanted like these cool blue eyes right here. You can really make it look realistic and just drop the opacity a little bit. And look at that, look how cool that looks. I mean, that's the easiest way to do that, you know, just mess with the hue and saturation until you get, like, there's green eyes. It's pretty cool, but we're not going to do that. We want those rainbow eyes. So what we want to do is go down to the sharpen, click and hold the control, click on it, make sure that you have the marquee tool selected by hitting M. And now what we can do is we can click and hold Alt to get that minus sign right there. And we can just click and drag down to get rid of one of the eye selections. And now what we want to do is we want to go down to the adjustment layer. We want to go up to the gradient and hit gradient. And let's just call this one, actually it doesn't matter. Gradient fill is fine. And now what we want to do is we want to go into the gradient, select this rainbow right here, hit OK. Now double click on the gradient layer once again and set the style from linear to angle, hit OK. Now set the blending mode to color. And let's just drag that to the top real quick. Awesome, now let's do that for the other eye, and I'm going to do this one faster. So remember, control, click. Make sure you're on the marquee tool. Hit Alt, click and hold it, drag down. Now you only have one selected. Click, boom, gradient. Okay, boom. From linear to angle, okay. Now to color. And just like that, you have awesomely colored eyes, but that is just way too intense even for the this effect. So let's drop it down a little bit. Yeah, cool. Right about 57 is good. Awesome. Now look at that. With all that work, this is what you end up getting, and I think it looks pretty awesome. So, I mean, you can always change around these, like where these sit and stuff, and get different effects, but I'll let you guys play around with that. And the last thing I did was, let's just do this. Let's just put all of these into a group real quick. So select the bottom one, select the top one, and then just go Control G, make this a group, and let's just call this Elias, because that's my name. Well, you guys know me as Eli, so let's just keep it at Eli. And now what we can do is, this is a really cool shortcut that saves a lot of time. Let's just go Control, Shift, Alt, E. And that just merges everything. Every layer that it sees or is, you know, visible, it merges it. And then we can apply some color correction to this top layer. And I mean, you can always do what I did and just go to Magic Bullet, Photo Looks. But if you don't have Photo Looks, you can always just do your own custom contrasting and such. But I'm going to save time. This tutorial is already too long. Alright, so after much thought and decision, I've decided that I want to just go with tension. I really don't have time to be messing with this all day because, you know, I got to work out and throw a football with my friends. So, yeah, the Turkey Bowl's coming up. Thanksgiving is this week. Goodness gracious, I forgot about that. But now I'm going to hit finished, and it's going to apply it. And also, guys, Thanksgiving's coming up. Happy Thanksgiving, because I'm probably not going to see you until Friday. So, yeah, happy Thanksgiving early. But I hope you guys have a turkey bowl as well and everything like that. But cool. Oh, that looks weird, but different. But anyway, I don't have time to go back. So there you go, guys. And let's just click on this and call it CC for color correction. And yeah, I'll be giving you guys this layer right here too. So both of these, what you saw in the intro was both of these, but I'm going to be giving you both the indecision and the movie star presets over there. So yeah, pretty awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you guys learned something today, or even just, you know, new techniques. I'm going to call this Glossy Eyed. 2, hit save, okay. And if you hit Control-Shift-S, you can save it as something. So I'll save it as a JPEG. I'm just going to call it that. There we go. Cool. Maximum quality, and it is saved. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do hope you learned something. And I will see you guys on Friday. And if you forgot, make sure you leave a comment and leave a like, because it helps out a lot. And I seriously love all the feedback I've been getting, and I love talking to you guys. So, you know, keep having conversations with me. And I will see you guys this Friday. Peace.